Hello guys, what's going on guys? So essentially today we're bringing back a old series on the channel that we used to make called a loadout investment. I think a lot of people know what this is, obviously. A lot of people do it, but I started making these a long time ago, and that's kind of what made the channel boom a little bit. And today we're going to be covering, an entire loadout, essentially, for Counter-Strike Global Offensive that you pay to play, and you actually pay to win, essentially, because you're going to be winning more money down the line if you invest in this, investing loadout. So this is a pretty much free skin loadout. If you play this game every single day, I'd say invest a couple $100s into skins. You're going to be making money while you play with really, really cool skins, especially if you have that expendable income. And we're not just going to be covering skins for every single gun. We're going to be covering a sticker, and possibly a knife and glove. Let's begin with the glove commercial. Hello guys. Okay, if you need any skins, okay, especially any of the skins that we're going to be listing on this video or just in general, hop on down below into the link down in the description below and take you over to Skinport. And essentially, that's going to help out me, help out the Millennium Falcon and Chewbacca, and I grow this ship and grow the community as a whole, and help, actually pay for the pizza this guy eats every single night. That's really, really annoying. Starting off with the sticker, okay, so we're going to talk about the Golden Dick sticker. Dick Stacy was a professional Counter-Strike player a little while ago. He's mainly known for the Katowice 2019 run. And he made it into that team with the Greyhound squad, I guess you could say. And his sticker has become legendary. Okay, it's the Golden Dick. This thing is worth hundreds and hundreds into the thousands now at this point for this sticker, which is really, really cool. I really, really enjoyed how it looks, and you can make a lot of funny material with it in Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and you can also just keep it in your inventory to keep it on your profile. You could put the big sticker beside it, put Big Dick. It's really, really funny. These are in no particular order whatsoever, and we are not going to be covering every single gun in the game for Counter-Strike Global Offensive, mainly because there just isn't a good investing opportunity, I would say, for every single gun in the game right now. First off, we're going to be starting off with the Og Carved Jade. I think this is a potential, a big skin that has a lot of potential in the near future. This thing, we started talking about it during Operation Broken Fang. It still has potential in the future. It's going to keep growing. It's kind of just how we've seen the price surge up and down all the time, and it's just been going up pretty much since the beginning when it was released in Broken Fang. And especially if you can get a really, really good float on this with really, really cool stickers from Broken Fang, like specifically Battle Scarred Hollows, I think in the future this has really, really big potential to be one of the biggest really cool sticker crafts in the entire game. And then on top of the Og Carved Jade, you can also get an Og or SG skin 553, especially like an ultraviolet, an SSG 53 or 553 ultraviolet. Oh my god, it's also a really, really good investment in my personal opinion because these skins are so cheap, right? The SG and the Og got nerfed a couple years ago at this point, and after that happened, the skin prices kind of really fell in price because no one used them anymore. People still use them every once in a while, but I think there's still potential for them to get buffed in the future, but you shouldn't be buying these for them getting buffed. I think you should just be buying these because they are pretty cool. And people still use these guns every once in a while, especially on the long range maps like, Nuke and also Dust 2. If you can't afford an op really, really quickly, you just buy these guns. Next up with the pistols, we're going to go into the Deagles and the Desert Eagle. We're going to be starting off with the Normangander. And this is, a skin I've been talking about pretty much since the beginning of this channel. And the Normangander is one of my favorite skins in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I had two of them when they first came out. I have one of them still, and I'm not sure if I'm going to sell that one anytime soon. They're very, very expensive now. I talked about these when they were under $100. Now they're over $400 pretty much. And it's very, very cool to see this skin grow as much as I have on the YouTube channel. I'm kidding. Like I said, it's the only green skin in the game for the Deagle, and I think it has a lot of potential in the future. And even if they were to make another green Deagle in the game, it wouldn't be in the same rarity, in my personal opinion. So if they made a green Deagle, it'd be like a Forest DD-Pat version. So it's kind of like if you guys remember when the Oxide Blaze got released for the Desert Eagle back in the day, and they also had the actual Blaze for the Deagle, people thought that would affect the price. It's kind of the same situation. It's not going to affect the price whatsoever. It's actually probably going to increase the Normangander even more because it's going to see the potential, or it's going to have a bigger marking in between. There's going to be rich and then poor sort of thing, I guess you could say, to put it the nicest way possible. So this is a skin also for the Deagle, the Desert Eagle Knight, which is on the Steam market. There's like a little under 10 quantity wise. I talked about this thing when it was under $15, and now it's a little over 65, which is really, really cool. And it's a limited skin. This skin is eventually going to run out on Steam, in my personal opinion. I think that we talked about it when it was a little under 50 quantity or something like that, where I first looked at it when it was underneath that. I didn't mention it in the video yet, but this thing has been growing like crazy. People just haven't really talked about it, and this thing looks really, really nice with a pair of leather hand wraps, in my personal opinion. This is just one of the best looking Eagles in the entire game. You can put some really, really cool stickers on this as well because it is kind of a bland sort of deagle. You can just put anything on, And it's a really, really clean deagle as well. It goes really, really well with certain pairs of knives and gloves and other skins in the game. Next up is the P250. Now, the P250, there's a few other options you can go with. The P250 Bengal Tiger still is looking like a really, really good option for investing in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. And, it's $60 for the factory new condition. There's 14 of them on the market. And, there was a lot more on the market a little while ago. And this is just going to keep happening more and more as we get more people and more people playing CSGO all the time. And the case limitations that we have now in Counter-Strike as well. This thing is going to go up like crazy for the near future, which I'm really, really excited for. Next up is the M4A1-S. Now, this is a skin I haven't really talked about on the channel yet, which is the iqaries Fel. Now, this skin used to be really, really cheap back in the day, or used to be a little of a higher tier skin. Now it's really shot up in price, and it just has a lot of potential based on how old it is. Kind of the old saying that I have on the channel: if it's an old skin, it's going to go up in price, and this is going to be the next couple years in CS where you're going to be actually able to afford old skins in the CSGO. And that's one of the most, popular videos on my YouTube channel, I guess we could say, for a reason. If you have old skins in CS, or you have any desire to buy old skins, such as the Desert Eagle Blaze, or the Glock Fade, or even a Dragon Lore at this point, or even any old skin that's, like, relatively affordable, let's just say an SSG Blood in the Water, right? These skins are not going to be obtainable to the average consumer, I would say, in the next 2 years. Meaning they're going to be so expensive, probably into the $1,000 range for even a Scout Blood in the Water, or something lower tier class like that. If you get, like, I'm trying to actually describe here and tell you, or even a Battle Scarred Fire Serpent, for an example. Probably a better one that people would want later down the line, because it's a pretty rare skin that people, I would say, like in the community. I don't like it necessarily, but you get the point. And this is one of those, the iqaries Fel is one of those. It falls into that category of being really, really old, and it's going to go up. Also, you have the AWP, or the M4A1-S Hot Rod, as well as the Blue Phosphor. The Blue Phosphor is a little pricey still right now, in my personal opinion, but it's going to keep going up because Operation Broken Fang, it's over. Old skins such as the Normangander from the Shattered Web collection from that operation last year. You have the Broken Fang one, and the Operation skins is kind of when the next operation comes out. And the next year, around Christmas time, that's when they really start booming in price. And that's when you'll see I would say, the M4A1-S, Blue Phosphor itself really boom up in price. And especially if the M4A1-S gets a buff in the near future to some degree, if that's an extra 5 bullets in the magazine, or you have, an extra little bit of a fire rate, like kind of what we used to have back in the day, which I don't think would happen because that gun would be too overpowered once again. That's when you see the price surge, to $15 or an extra, a couple $100 at that point for that weapon. Next up for the M4A4. So obviously you have the M4A4 Howl, and obviously you have these higher tier like the Poseidon. Those are really, really good, but I'm assuming the most average consumer, especially person watching this video, is not going to be able to get that, or maybe not want it in that perspective. So, okay, you can get the M4A4 Global Offensive from a cheap entry-level skin in Counter-Strike Global Offensive right now, and it's from Operation Broken Fang. It looks really, really nice. It's been clean, and it's from Global Offensive. It's kind of like the logo. They have, actually, Steam has a jacket you can buy on their Steam store for Counter-Strike Global Offensive. It actually for IRL, like in IRL, you can actually wear it, which actually looks decent, and it's the same kind of skin they have on that gun, and it's going to keep going up in the future to a really, really good potential and degree, in my personal opinion. Mainly, I would say the biggest thing behind it is trade-ups. People can use this in trade-ups. It's why this thing is going to be so expensive later down the line, because people are going to be wanting to get the higher tier skins from the operation, which is really, really cool too. Next up for the AK-47. Now, we have the AK-47 Vulcan, the Fuel Injector, Fire Serpent, and Bloodsport. So these are all very, I would say, graphical AK-47s, which is really, really cool, and that's the whole point. The cartoony AKs. Okay, this is the point I'm trying to get across. These have a lot of potential, the most potential out of all the AK-47s in my personal opinion, because they don't really make these, especially the Bloodsport. They don't make a lot of AKs like these in the game. They just released the new, Snakebite case, and they have this really crappy M4A4 skin that no one likes, right? And I think they're going to learn from this the next operation or the next case they drop, and they're going to see that people don't want these skins. They want these kind of skins, like the Bloodsport, Fire Serpent, Fuel Injector, and AK. But they're not going to copy these exact skins. You're never going to see these skins ever again, in my personal opinion. The Fire Serpent is pretty much the best guaranteed profit, and the Fuel Injector for right now. The Vulcan's also going really, really well as well. I used to have a Vulcan. I used to have all these skins. I still have the Bloodsport and the Fuel Injector actually in my inventory, and I have seen about a 30 to 50% increase in price ever since a couple months ago, honestly, since I started investing in these, and I don't see them going down anytime soon. Now for the AWP, okay, you have the AWP Wildfire. So this thing has really, really good potential right now because the CS20 case is going up in price. I think the AWP Wildfire, for one, is one of the best looking AWPs in the entire game, as well as the AWP Containment Breach from the Shattered Web case. That thing is going to go up in price as well because that case is going up like crazy as well. Because old cases and old skins are going up, and since these cases are going up, the AWPs and stuff are going to go up as well. The reds inside the case, And these are the two best affordable ops, I think, in my personal opinion, on the market right now. It's kind of like a budget Dragon Lore, a budget kind of Medusa you could get 4 years ago. This is kind of the op to go to. Second to last up is the Glocks. So, okay, for your Glock, you have the Glock Franklin, which is about $150 right now, which is really, really cool. I talked about this skin before. It was under, I think it was 30 bucks when we first talked about it on the channel during Operation Broken Fang. How people should invest like crazy into these, and they did. I heard a lot of people had some really good success with that. I did too. I use this as a play skin, and you know, it's gotten me a lot of success and a lot of growth on the channel, which is really, really cool. I guess a growth in my bank account rather than the channel. But also beside that, you also have the Glock Fade. Now the Glock Fade is a skin that's going to keep going up over and over again every single year like crazy, because it is an old skin and has a lot of potential for later down the line as well, because old skins are going to be rising. Like I said, this is kind of an ongoing theme with the channel and just investing in CS in general. And it's such a nice and notorious like Glock skin, kind of like the Dragon Lore, I guess you could say. If there's like the main kind of tier weapons you'd see in CS, or you could show to someone that doesn't play Counter-Strike, they'd be like, oh, that's a Glock Fade. Oh, that's a, you know, that's a not Wildfire, an op Dragon Lore. People know what those skins are outside of Counter-Strike Global Offensive, especially my friends that don't play this game. Last up on the list is more of a goofy investment, in my personal opinion, and that's the R8 Fade. So the Revolver is a gun in the game right now that is pretty garbage. No one uses it really, besides like to meme and mess around. And it has potential, don't get me wrong. And I think if this thing, the main part of this thing, why I think it could go up in price, is if it gets buffed. And I've been talking about this for a very, very long time. Don't spend $1,000 into these. Don't throw your entire paycheck into these. There's just the potential for these to go to a couple $100 or even more if this thing gets buffed to a greatest extent. I'd just go on buff or something like the video I made yesterday, link in the description below. I made a video covering how to access buff and how to actually add funds to that with your bank account or your credit card or debit card. And you can buy an R8 Fade for really, really nice, like float and stuff, for a little under $10 on there, which is really, really nice. And I think it's a really good investment, especially if you play CS every day. It's something good to have, to just have in your inventory. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, subscribe, follow me, so link in the description below. I'm excited for the future, guys. I really am. This channel's going, okay? We going in this community. I love investing in CS. Hope you guys enjoyed the recent content. Oh, guys.